now that we've got all our paper off of our windshield, you want to take and insert a rubber grommet in every one of these holes here. Best thing to do is wet them a little bit. Squeeze them and they snap right in. That's the way they should look whenever you're done. Now that you got your rubber grommets here in the windshield, you're ready to put your other metal bushings in the front part. Just snap them right into your grommets. Push them down. Now we're ready to install our top windshield brace. You just take the long Phillips head bolts, stick them right down from the top there. Put your brace on the inside. Put a washer on your brace and your nut. Alright, now we got our windshield stood up here and we put our 3 clips on each side. This one over here, you put it in between the handbar. On your bolts, up on the top bolt, you got a longer bolt than the other 2 bolts. Just bolt her right up. I recommend doing the top ones first. That's the hardest ones to do. Just let the windshield lay right here against the body. It pretty much, this weather stripping seals off all the air. Pretty much once you get the top one started, everything else just falls right into place. Now that we got everything in place, we're ready to tighten it up. Down the sides, you need a number 10. Along the top, you need a number 8 socket and a Phillips screwdriver on the front side. Now we're ready to install our seat brackets. I've done took the nuts off. Make sure you leave the bottom washers on. Just put them on like so here. Put your washers back on. Tighten them up. Alright, now we're ready to install our cowl cover. This right here is your air intake. Just slide it right in here, like so. Then you take these little plastic grommets, push them in, and then you got a bolt head that pushes right down inside each one to lock it in place. Real simple. After you get that piece completed, you're ready to install it. There's 2 metal clips. Put them with the hole facing up, the thread facing down right here on your cowl. And then you just slide your air intake right inside here. And then you got 2 Phillip head bolts. Put them in and tighten them up. Alright, now before you install your cover, I recommend checking your oil. Your dipstick is right underneath the oil filter right down here. It just screws right out. Pull it out. You want the oil to be all the way up to the top of the dipstick right there. There's a little ridge, which this one is. It's got the shipping oil in it. What I like to do is crank them up and get them good and hot with the shipping oil, and then cut them off and then drain it. I'm going to show you where the plug is in a minute. I'm going to lift the machine up. It's right on the bottom of the motor. You can just drain the oil out, put you some Castrol Syntec 10W30 in there and run it. Right here is your oil filter too. If you ever want to change your oil filter, it's real accessible, real easy to get to. Alright, now we're full of oil. We've checked our oil. We're ready to put our cowling on. Just pull your handbrake up right here. Make sure you're in neutral. Just slides right down. It's real easy to put on. Just let it kind of fall into place in the front. On each ridge, it gets right under that tab right there on both sides. And then up here in the front, it just locks right in. Pushes right down. Once you get it in there, you're ready to put your seats in. Your seats snap in and out of this machine. That's what I really like. You get to everything real easy. They got a ridge back here in the back. You just line it up. Slide your seats right in. Snap them right down. That holds your cowling in. Go over on the other side, do the same thing. Alright, now we're ready to install our bed. You want to remove the bed pins here on both sides. They've got carter keys in them. Just pull them right out. The next thing you want to do is remove the nuts here off your shocks. This is what spring loads the bed. Once you get that done, you're ready to install your bed. I've had a little help setting this bed up on here. Once you get it set up on here, all you do is put your 2 bed pins in. They just fall right into place there. Go over here on yon side, put your other one in. They just slide right in. Put your Carter key in the other side and bend it back. Now we've got our bed pins in, we're ready to wire this thing up to where our turn signals and tail lights work. This right here is an accessory plug, these two right here. You've got one that's longer and one that's shorter. The shorter one goes over to the driver's side, the longer one goes over to the rider's side. Up here in this bed there's holes too. We like to run these wires right up here to where they're nice and tucked away and out of the way. Just run them right through. And everything's color coded too. I'll pull it down here in the last one. And I'll just take all the wires that's color coded and hook them up. Now that you got everything hooked up, go over to the other side and do the exact same thing. Alright, now we're ready to put our side on the bed. Just remove all these Phillip head screws down the side here. Alright, now we're ready to put our side on. Slide it right over your bed lever there, like so. Put all your bolts right back in the top. There's one last bolt that goes in right here in the very bottom. Alright, we're almost finished with our bed. The last thing you need to do is put your shocks on. They just slide right here in this mount. Just open your bed up and hold it down there. Slide it in. It'll kind of go up and you can start your nut right on the back side. Then all you have to do is tighten it. Go around to the other side and do the same thing. I'm installing our front skid plate attachment here. You got to take the two bottom bolts out of the bumper, slide it up between the bumper, and then it bolts on the bottom of the frame as well. This slides right up in. Alright, I want to show you our front differential. I've got this jacked up to where you can see it. Come on in here. Right here is your drain bolt. Take that bolt out and you can drain the fluid out. And right up here on this very side of it is your bolt where you put grease in the differential. You want to fill it up to where it just drains out right there, then put that plug back in. And now we're going to put our front protector plate on this. Assembly. All we got left to do is add gas. Just take the lid off, put our gas right in it. Recommend using high test in these things. They seem to run a whole lot better to do than regular mid-grig. Whenever you're adding gas, you can look up there on the dash. I've turned the light on for you. Now you can see it's got a bar of gas and you know you're good to go. You're ready to start the unit up. Make sure your unit is in neutral on the dash, and it's just as simple as this. You just turn the switch. Takes a second. Fires right up. After it cranks up and runs a little bit, gets warm, you give it about 10 to 15 minutes, 30 minutes, set and idle, and then take it out on the trail and ride it. I hope you enjoyed our assembly video just as much as I did putting this unit together. I hope you can see now how easy it is. Anybody can do it. If you got 2 or 3 people, it goes a whole lot faster than what it does with one, but I just wanted to show you that one person could assemble this machine by themselves. Remember, you've seen it here first, riderswholesale.com.